Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center, where we're witnessing the North American Team Championship Finals. We have the Fujian Provincial team versus the Tianjin University of Science and Technology team. Simply put, we have in the blue shirt, Xi versus in the red shirt, Ran Xu this match. And I'd like to welcome Corey Eider joining me right now, a top American male player. Corey, great to have you with us. And we'll see how this match progresses here. And Corey, last match I made it clear, Xi, my favorite player of the tournament. I've played a tie against him and seen him play a lot, and one of the prettiest players to watch here. Just incredible speed with his footwork, and his forehand is just so beautiful to watch. You know, all these players are so great out there, and you see all these big, great forehands, but Xi is kind of like an artist out there. When he loops the ball, it's just pretty to watch.
Yeah, he really strikes the ball cleanly, and his backhand flat hit with that short pips is really awesome to watch as well.
Xi out with a 6-4 lead, and you know, last match we pointed out he's so good at opening up with spinny low to the net shots just like that. Missed that point, but he opens up with a lot of spin, keeps it low to the net, and players have had so much problems with that the whole tournament. He doesn't just beat you with power, he beats you with spin.
Yeah, I practiced all week with Wen Guo from Shandong, and he had no chance against that spin that Xi was giving him in the last match. It was really unbelievable. I thought that match was going to be a little bit more competitive, but Xi, he's so fast. If you pop that block up at all, he can rip.
So Ran Xu able to get back to 6-all. See what he does with the service here. There's that slow, spinny opening that everyone's had so many problems with. That time, Ran not able to deal with the spin. 7-all.
Oh, he misread the serve badly there.
Thought it was no spin. It was a really heavy chop, bottomed out in the net. Players kind of trying to get into the rhythm of this match. We've seen a few unforced errors from both sides. That's normal when you start out a match. It's so important for Ran to see if he can get this game, because Xi clearly the better player, but Ran has put himself in a position where he has a chance to win this game. But not if you're getting net balls like that. Very difficult to win any games when your opponent's touching the net and it dribbles over.
Yeah, it's
a break there for Xi to take a 10-8 lead here with the serve. There's that same serve you talked about, Corey. You thought it was no spin. It was really heavy spin. One of the most difficult parts of table tennis is the receive of serve. And I can't tell you how many times people come up to me after they watch me play or watch some other people play and say, why are you missing so many easy serves? It's like they're just serving it short. Why don't you just put it back at the table, not realizing the amount of spin and trickery in the game. These guys out there are serving short. You think it's heavy and it's no spin. Then you think it's no spin and it's heavy spin. And that's why you saw a player as good as Ran Xu just bottom out on 2 of those receives. He totally misread the ball.
Yeah, especially with the rubber they use too. They can get so much spin with that Hurricane rubber. The top sheet is so sticky, and when the disguise, because if you pop up their dead ball serve at all, they're going to rip the next ball and you're not going to see it again. But when they do hit the heavy underspin, it is really heavy. We played this team for Ran Xu, the Tianjin University of Technology, and those guys can really serve the ball. And if you pop the serve up a little bit, you just have to kind of guess sometimes. And if you guess wrong, you're going to miss really badly.
Both players there kind of fighting the short game with each other, trying to keep each other from attacking.
That was a nice shot. I played against Xi Chen, and I was surprised at how much of a controlled style he has. I thought I saw a smaller guy, and I thought he was really going to be able to just come and rip balls, but he plays really controlled.
That's a good point, Corey. When you see a small guy, you expect him to come out and actually rip. It's the opposite of what someone would think. If you see a big, strong guy, you're thinking he's going to rip, but in table tennis, you see a small guy, you're like, oh, this guy's probably a maniac.
Yeah, no, that's exactly kind of how it works sometimes. Oh, that time Xi Chen had no trouble, or a little less trouble anyways with that really heavy opening from
He's dealt with it pretty well, actually. Only missed a couple of them. But he's had a lot of problem with Chen's serve. Missed a bunch of them outright to start this match out.
Yeah, and that's the same thing when Hao Shuai plays too. Nobody's even returning a serve even close. I mean, we're watching unbelievable players miss the serve by miles. It's amazing.
It's a helpless feeling out there when you don't know the spin on your opponent's serve. That's a quick way to lose a match in a hurry, and it's just such a sick feeling.
That time Xi Chen opened up with a little bit of spin of his own, causing a miss. Shi doesn't usually miss that block with the short pips. That's a really tough opening to deal with, Jimmy, when they open up soft sort of with the short pips and just use your own spin off of their push. That's a tough ball to deal with, because if you block that ball back, he's going to hit the forehand so hard.
Wow! First of all, let's give Ran some credit for that big forehand, but did you see how Shi took that first one back and then Ran reloaded, caught the edge of the table there and got the point. Just incredible reaction by Shi.
Yeah, and it's funny how that happens about 2 minutes after I mentioned how controlled Xi Ren's game is.
It's impossible to explain how fast these guys are. They're so fast and so powerful. It's difficult to explain unless you're playing against them and you feel it. Both players kind of going through the motions. Shi feeling quite control of the match. Xu trying to see if he can figure out a way to string a few points together. Hasn't been able to so far. See if Ran can deal with Chen's serve a little better here.
That's that heavy opening again, Jimmy. Same old, same old. Whenever he needs a point, that's what he goes to. And it worked there. He knows he can get a push that's going to come out a little bit off that heavy underspin serve. Wow. Wow. That's unbelievable. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Feeling and touch there by Ran, able to get in close to the net there, flick that ball wide out to Chen's forehand. Chen not expecting that at all. Who would expect that? That's just a great shot.
Yeah, especially this late in the game.
So smooth, Chen. Ran really gave himself a great chance to win that point. Opened up with a big forehand, but Chen is just so quick and able to deal with so much. Able to win that game and take a 1-game-to-0 lead. 2 games to 0 lead. there. Ran on that opening, noticed he gave a body shot to Chen, looked it right in his middle, and that's usually the best spot to put the ball. If your opponent's close to the table, you want to try to jam the ball right into his middle, where he has the least amount of chance to react and make a quality shot back.
Yeah, once again, we just got to see that heavy spin from Chen. I mean, he's making a living off that shot. That's that flat hit with the short pips, Jimmy. That's, you know, you go from dealing with that heavy topspin with the forehand to dealing with the flat short pips. That's just an uncomfortable feeling.
Wow. You know, I'm a big fan of the deep serve, and I always like to say you need to serve deep sometimes, even if you lose the point. In that case, that serve didn't work out too well, but I still like the idea because it makes your short serves a lot better. Sometimes that's going to happen. You are taking a risk when you serve deep, but you also may win the point outright, and even if you don't, it makes your short service game better because your opponent has to respect you may serve deep, and too many athletes are too scared to serve deep, and you start seeing them serve short like 9 out of 10 times. That was so powerful, Chen. Now, Corey, I should add to that, if you do serve deep, you want to make sure you have a couple deep serve, though. You don't you do want to practice your deep serve, I don't advise it. There's some heavy spin there by Rand, kind of giving Chen a taste of his own medicine. Just spun that up slow, low to the net with incredible amounts of side top on it. Ball really skidded on the table. Chen missed it badly.
The Chinese rely so much on their short game, and one thing we were talking about when we were playing some of the Chinese players is serving deep even more against them because they're really not used to it. And that's one thing that sometimes the Chinese struggle with when they first come overseas is that they're not used to people just serving out to them, because in China it's mostly serve short, play short, and then open up. But here, it's a pretty good tactic to serve deep as long as you have something like you were talking about, some deep serves that are good.
Well, Corey, that was one of the quickest matches of the tournament. Chen came out and just dominated from really start to finish. There was one game that was a little tight in there where Rand was able to make a little run, but really other than that, he just dominated that match.
JOOLA, for the champion in you, an official sponsor of USA Table Tennis.